You could be training perfectly and still be making slower progress than someone who uses the right tools. You're literally leaving progress by not using the right tools for you, okay? You're leaving progress on the table, okay? Because the person who just trains the hardest isn't the guy who's always going to make the most progress. It's the guy who uses the most highest leverage things he can in his situation. Okay, so what we're gonna go over is tracking in terms of like what you should track, if you should track it, and how to actually track it, and then identity shifting. Okay, this is an important one, so make sure you stick to the end. So what we're gonna go over first is tracking, because obviously you can track literally all the metrics, right? And what's the reason behind that is to just see if what you're doing actually works. Like, is it working or not? Okay. Is it actually working? And then, for example, you might be able to push a little bit harder, right? Because let's say you saw that, okay, last time I did 30 kg for 10 reps. This time I have to do 11, right? You know what you sort of have to do. That's like where tracking is really useful, okay? So what you can actually track are your workouts, right? Your workouts. You can track your diet. You can track your sleep. You can also somewhat track your lifestyle, okay? So for your workouts themselves, tracking these is really important in my opinion. Tracking however many reps and sets and weight you did is super duper important. Yeah, I mean, it's honestly not too hard to track. I personally just use the Notes app on my phone. That I find that just like the easiest for me. If you find an app works better for you or so on, just use that. It's not that hard. Literally just track it, and then you'll know that, okay, this workout I did that much, so this time I have to do a little bit more. Okay. Now, diet is a sort of interesting one because a lot of people tell you to track your diet, but in my opinion, it actually makes it harder, right? Because if you're watching this video, you're probably trying to bulk up, okay? Now, what this means is, imagine you are eating, like, let's say, this is your day right now, okay? You eat 3 meals per day, and you want to go ahead and eat more, right? Okay, you're gonna have to eat a little bit more in each meal, and you're probably also gonna have to add in 2 meals, okay? So you eat 5 meals per day. Now, if you're tracking your diet, do you think you're going to have more friction or less friction if you try to add in 2 more meals? There's obviously going to be much more, okay? So the advice I give to most people is literally don't track your diet, okay? So don't track and just eat more meals, okay? So eat more meals and then just focus on calorie dense foods, okay? So whatever you have that's calorie dense in your area, that's cheap, just go ahead, lock in on that, eat a bunch of it, okay? Shouldn't be too difficult. The other thing is sleep. Now, I personally don't track my sleep. I never really found a reason to, and I always found that like all my habits are locked in anyway, so I wouldn't really do anything different if I do track it, if that makes sense. Now, if you do find that tracking your sleep like sort of helps you, I mean, I personally just placebo myself every single day into like, oh wow, I had amazing sleep, everything is going great. And that works really well for me. And anyways, bro, most of the stuff you do is anyways for placebo. So as long as you do some good habits, placebo yourself should be fine. Because anyways, bro, like you're not going to do much different if you do buy a sleep tracker, right? Now, the other thing you can track is your lifestyle itself. Now, what do I mean by this? You can track your lifestyle in terms of like how many steps you do. That's a really good one to track. I personally think tracking your steps is really important. Tracking steps is great because literally like doing more steps, if you're not doing enough, right? If you're already doing like 10 or 15K, it doesn't really matter. But if you're not doing like 10K minimum, you're leaving happiness on the table, okay? Now, this is really important. So I would say just track your steps. It's a no-brainer. Buy like I don't know, I don't have my watch on me, but I anyways do 10K steps. Like I always like walk quite a bit. But I have a Casio on, but you can go ahead and get a cheap fitness tracker like a Mi Band or something like that for like 20 USD. And those are really cheap and work well. So yeah, tracking your steps is a really good one for a lifestyle itself. And the other metric I think you should track for your lifestyle is your screen time. Now, this is kind of a weird one to track because it's like, wait, why are we tracking our screen time if we want to get stronger and bigger, right? It kind of doesn't make sense, but essentially what this will do, right? Because all of this, how consistent you are, right? Because if you want to get, let's say, bigger and stronger, right? What are the main things to do? Or like okay, you have to do the basic habits. Okay, you have to go to the gym and you have to like eat well and so on. But the thing is, bro, that the only time that you're actually gonna keep on like making good progress in those are when you're actually consistent. Okay, and so to actually be more consistent, those need to be fun. Okay, and the only time the gym is fun is when other things are less fun than the gym. Okay, if that makes sense. Other things need to be less fun than the gym for the gym to be fun. Okay, now those two correlate directly with each other. Okay, and so as long as the gym is more fun than other stuff, you're gonna be going to the gym consistently. Okay, and so we need to essentially make other stuff less fun. So you can either take like a dopamine detox, go like 7 days and use your phone less and put it on dark scale or whatever. But I personally found that just like literally just delete social media. Delete social media. Use a what's it called? Use Unhook. Unhook for YouTube. I personally had a really bad YouTube addiction, so using Unhook really helped me with that. Even on my phone, I have Firefox, and then I just use the YouTube browser with Unhook, so I can't like scroll or whatever. So yeah, I mean, that makes it really easy. So that's it for tracking, what you should track and if you should track it, okay? Moving on, bro, to identity shifting. This is one extremely powerful tool that I just don't see enough people using this, okay? Now, just to show you the sort of idea behind this, okay? If you want to get to whatever goal, okay? Let's say you want to get jacked. Let's say that's our goal. You want to get jacked, which means putting on 10 kilos of muscle. 10 kg of muscle and maybe losing some fat, right? In order to get jacked, you need to do the habits to get jacked, right? That's simply what it is. So you need to be locked in on the habits to get jacked, going to the gym, eating well, so on, okay? And then just the consistency in those habits. And the reason why you're not doing these yet is because you're sort of not the person who does these yet, if that makes sense. Because you're the person right now who's stuck in your current situation, right? Otherwise, you would have already been doing these good habits and you would have already been jacked, right? And so what you need to do is essentially, you need to shift your identity, right? Who you think you are into the identity of someone who does these good habits and is consistent, okay? Now, how do you actually do that though? How do you actually transit from this to that? There are many different ways to do this, right? You can visualize it, right? You can visualize it. You can, there are a ton of different little ways to do this, right? You can also do like, what's it called? Well, when you speak to yourself, right? I don't know what those are called, but it's like hyping yourself up, like saying, yeah, I'm the guy who does this and so on. The reason why these work is because it puts it into your subconscious brain, right? Which is way more powerful than your conscious brain. And so what you actually need to do, okay, I mean, this is going to be super extreme, right? But I found that people who do this genuinely make it work are people who go all in, right? Because if you go all in into something, right? Let's say you buy like a 1-year gym membership. Like chances are, bro, you're going to stick to it, right? Because you're already 1 year deep into the gym membership. Maybe you also get like a coach, right? Maybe you also get a coach, right? And all of this stuff is going to make you more invested and turn you into the guy who's here, okay? And so turning yourself into the guy who's into there faster, you can do stuff like, buying a membership, getting a coach. But I found the most effective thing, I've seen one guy do this so far, which is literally like changing your location, okay? Changing your location. Now, the reason why this is so effective is because when you go to a new location, people don't know you, okay? And if you go by yourself, this is the only time it works, is if you go by yourself. Because you're gonna change yourself completely, right? Let's say you go to, I don't know, let's say you're in Paris, right? Let's say you're in Paris, okay? And then you move to, whatever, I don't know, let's say you move to like Bali, okay? And everyone in Bali is locked in, okay, that helps a little bit. But the main thing is that in Bali, people don't know you, okay? People don't know who you are. And so you can just act like this guy here, and people will treat you like that guy. And so you'll just be more of that guy, if that makes sense, okay? And so then you'll get these results because you actually deserve them, okay? Instead of being stuck at your current situation. So this is an insane thing to do, but moving to a different place, if you can, even just a different city where you don't know that many people, is super, super good. And especially, this only works if you do it solo, okay? I found that this guy who did this move, his name is Naeem, he's actually one of my friends. He made like a ton of progress in his fitness and it literally changed his life forever, right? doing one of these things is the fastest way to, like, literally moving your location is one of the fastest ways to identity shift and to thus make faster progress. I recently did this. I was in in Hong Kong, right? And I just like maxed out social skills, right? Obviously no one knew me there. So I maxed out social skills and it went pretty good, right? And so that made me way faster progress in social skills than I would have made here back home in Thailand, right? And so these like the progress you're gonna make is gonna be much faster because people don't know you, and you're thus just gonna be able to be that identity of that guy you want to be. People will treat you like that. The universe will treat you like that, and thus you'll make the progress that you deserve. Okay. So yeah, bro, go ahead and track what you need to track. Shift your identity. Maybe travel countries if you can. And I know this video helps you a lot, bro, because it's not a dopaminergic video whatsoever. Literally no dopamine, no cuts whatsoever. And I want to help you out even more, bro. So I've put my Calendly link as the first link in the description, which you can just go ahead and book a call with me. I'll go ahead and help you out for an hour. And the second link is my free community as well. So yeah, bro, let's get it. Keep overloading. Let's get it, bro. See you, bro.